Media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Friday show, September 27, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend, on what could be a very momentous day in the city of Detroit.
Yeah, Ken, man. Good afternoon to you. It's always a great day when your teams are doing well. Michigan, Detroit Tigers, as well as Detroit Lions. So, and the New York Jets. So I'm feeling good. Got a good golf day in there. Orchard Lake Country Club. Love playing out there. So I'm excited, man. It's a beautiful weekend coming up.
No doubt about it. Tom Mazaway will be along momentarily. Pete Spivak with us. Silent Mike is with us as well. Big football day ahead. Dan Miller will join us in about 30 minutes from now. The voice of the Detroit Lions will get his take on the Seattle Seahawks coming up on Monday Night Football. Feels like a little bit of a breather, absolutely, of a weekend here when it comes to the Lions on Sunday. No game. Dr. Jeff Pierce will join us in the 3 o'clock hour number 2 of the program. He'll join us. We'll talk about some of those Lions injuries, including the pec injury to Frank Ragnow. It appears he's going to be out this week. But nonetheless, it was a good night last night.
Pete Spivak hit a bet, man. This is between your bet, the Caesars, what you told people on Monday night, and then what Pete Spivak told the people last night. Looks like Woodward Sports and Ermanni and Edwards and Maz. Pete Spivak. We're getting it done,
Pete, you want to lay down the law for the people out there? What'd you give them?
Well, yeah, we, I did. I'm sorry, I did forget the screenshot, but we did give them last night. We gave them all those fancy overs that Braylon approved. Remember, during the live watch party, we had Malik Neighbors over 71.5. We had CeeDee Lamb over 79.5. We had Jake Ferguson over 40.5.
49.
And Dallas Cowboys money line, baby.
Good for you,
plus
buddy.
490. Plus 490.
Good for you guys.
Thank you, guys.
He's on one, man.
All right, gentlemen. It is very rare that we would come in here on a Football Friday and lead with anything other than football. However, one of the most miraculous teams to ever play here in Detroit, and that I don't use that word lightly, miraculous, because what we have seen over the course of the last couple of months with the Detroit Tigers has been nothing short of spectacular. We had the watch party yesterday. If you tuned in for the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz program, we had the watch party yesterday. Tigers down 3-0 in the 7th. Come back to score 4 unanswered. Their magic number is down to 1 now. That after the Minnesota Twins lost one of the most improbable games in the history of baseball as well. Did you see what happened to the Twins last night? So here's the stat.
It was actually on MLB Network last night.
So the Minnesota Twins lost last night 8-6 in 13 innings. According to OptaStats, the Marlins are the first team in Major League Baseball history to strike out 20-plus times, leave 15-plus runners on base, blow a 4-run lead, commit multiple errors, and fail to hit a home run in a game. They're the first team ever to win a game like that. That is magic, right? I mean,
that sounds like the Tigers 2 years ago.
Absolutely. So the Twins go down 8-6. The Tigers need 1 win in their final 3 games to clinch a playoff spot. We anticipate that being tonight at Comerica Park against the Chicago White Sox.
Definitely the worst team in baseball, Chicago White Sox. That should happen. Ryan, but this goes that shit happened, right?
That was
this
French.
Is no longer the watch party.
That was French, by the way. That was French.
No longer the watch party.
No, right. But it just goes back to something we said during the watch party. Look, the Tigers, what are they, 31-11 or 31-19? Is that what they are over the last?
The 30-11.
Oh, 30-11,
so
okay.
30 of their last 41 games.
So the 30-11, they've won a lot of games. You don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. It's an amazing thing. But it goes back to what we said. It doesn't matter how strong this Tigers finish was if you didn't have one of the worst collapses and the worst divisions in Major League Baseball history. Like what you just said, like that is amazing. Everything is falling in the Detroit Tigers' favor. But it's a crazy, crazy season how it's ending, how it's playing out for this American Central.
And I think that's one of the things that is just, part of the miracle of what we're about to see here in Detroit tonight, hopefully, or at least this weekend, is Braylon, you hit the nail on the head. No matter how hot the Tigers were, if they didn't get this miraculous collapse from the Minnesota Twins, and by the way, the Kansas City Royals, I don't think you can sleep on that. This is not happening. We don't experience this. You feel good about where the Tigers are heading into next season, but you don't anticipate that they would make the postseason this year. But tonight is going to be the most difficult game they'll play all season. Tonight is going to be a game in which the Tigers have an opportunity. It's a closeout night.
Yeah.
It's a clinch night. And anytime you have an opportunity to clinch anything, it is that those final 3 outs are the hardest to get. And we'll see what this team does tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Look, man, you use the word clinch. Clinch is the word. And when you're in this type of position, Ermanni, for the very first time, you're young, you don't have that experience, you can definitely see the Detroit Tigers players clinching up. Now, I don't think they will. I think there's just something. It's just a magical year. Like, we watched the watch party yesterday. We see Kenta Maeda warming up. You think the game is over. Maz is laughing, cracking jokes. He's waving the white flag. They're down 3-0. And you're just patient. People just feel it's in there. And then what happens? Tigers win it in the ninth. Tigers win it in the eighth, as you call out. Like, this is just one of those magical years. So I think even though this is a trap game, this is a clinch situation, they don't have the experience. They don't have the playoff experience on this ball club. I still think somehow or another, like Maz said it, this team isn't going to lose another game the rest of the season. It's just a magical season where you can't try to make logic out of it, Ryan. You can't try to sit here and say they don't have this, they don't have that, or this happened or that's happened. You just watch the flow.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even so, at 3-0 yesterday, it was, this felt like a game where they don't have it. It felt like a game they don't have it. And then, it's 3-2, and you're like, there's no way they lose this game. That's the kind of confidence you have in this team, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm sitting here saying they can absolutely win a series.
Just look at how the first batter
They can absolutely win 2 series.
Just look at how the batter got on base. You're talking about magic. Like, we got a call. It should have been a strikeout. Should have been a strike 3 call. Should have been a strikeout.
Yeah.
Instead, Riley Green gets the hit, gets on base. Like, that should have been a strikeout. That should have been out. Should have been good. It's 2 outs already. That would have made 3. The inning's over. But instead, you get on base and you called it. You got to rally in the 8th, and you got 2 runs.
Now, tonight, Bray, the White Sox are throwing Garrett Crochet, and it was a conscious effort by the White Sox organization to save their best pitcher for the Tigers series. The White Sox view the Tigers as their rival. They do not want the Tigers to celebrate, and they do not want anything to do with 121 losses. And for the first time this season, the Chicago White Sox swept a series. They got their 120th loss to match the New York Mets for the worst all time. And then what did they do, Bray? They have proceeded to win 3 games in a row. They swept the Angels. They did so in extra innings one game. They did so with a 7-run inning yesterday. The White Sox do not want any part of history. And this is going to be a tough go, I think. This is going to be not just some layup to the finish. Tigers are going to have to earn it. We believe they will, but the White Sox are playing their best baseball right now.
Yeah, I don't want to come behind you and repeat everything you just said, so I'll try to say it a little differently. You got 2 teams that are fighting for something. Like, regardless of how you look at this game, you got 2 teams that are fighting something. You have the Chicago White Sox fighting history on one side, and you got the Detroit Tigers trying to fight history on the other side.
This is their World Series.
They'll be only one of 2 teams that have ever done what they done, make the playoffs from the position that they were in. So both teams are fighting. So it's going to be a darn good game. Both teams are coming to something to prove, a little bit of, hey, we have to have this game. Chicago doesn't want to fall and break the record. Tigers don't want to fall and get a chance to not make the playoffs. So Tigers are going to win. We know that. We feel the energy. We feel the mojo. We'll feel Jobu is in the building, if you will. But it's going to be a good game. But I'm glad that we have meaningful baseball in the city of Detroit in September. This is fantastic.
Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Hey, fellas. Nice job in my stead.
How How are you?
I'm good, man. I had a little trouble with the eye. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Protect that eye, kid.
Protect that eye, kid.
Right.
Yo, Mick, cut me, Mick. Can't do it, kid. Cut me. Anyway, you guys hit it on the nose. But what did I say a couple weeks ago that I didn't want to happen?
You didn't want the White Sox to have 120 losses.
No,
You did not want the White Sox to have less than 121 losses.
Exactly. And here it is. They have less than 121 losses. They are right on the 120. They need a sweep to do it. And just remember back in the day when the Tigers were fighting for the worst record in history.
That's right.
And what did they do?
They won.
They beat the Royals.
They beat the Minnesota Twins.
Was it the Twins?
Yeah.
It's a freak.
And actually, at the time, though, if memory serves correct, Ron Gardenhire made a couple of moves in that final game.
You're right.
That kind of essentially
Allowed
gave the Tigers a win.
Yeah, gave them a shot.
Gave them a shot to win the game. And afterwards, I remember Alan Trammell actually going up to the Minnesota dugout, tipping his cap to Ron Gardenhire as well. There's going to be no gimmies tonight.
There's no gimmies.
Yeah.
And Crochet is good. He's good. They didn't trade him at the deadline. A lot of teams wanted him. They didn't trade him. So here it is. History is on the line. One of the greatest comebacks for a baseball team to make a playoff, it's the Tigers. And one of the teams that do not want to make history with the 62 Mets sitting at 120 losses are the Southsiders from Chicago, the White Sox.
Can I just say, though, Maz, even if let's just it's not going to happen, but if it does, even if the White Sox sweep the Tigers, I have no faith in the Twins to sweep their series. That team is dead.
Last night's game, I stayed up to 1 a.m. to watch the Twins and the Marlins. The Marlins and the Twins go to 13 innings. The Twins had bases loaded in the 11th with nobody out.
Get out of
and
here.
Could not score.
Get out of here.
They could not score. The next inning.
I didn't see that.
The next inning, they do it again. 2 men on, nobody out. First pitch, back to the pitcher on a fly, throw to second, double play. Next one, ground out. Correa didn't hustle.
I saw that play.
He could have beat it out for first, and the guy would have been the third. He didn't hustle. Out of the inning, the Twins announcers were beside themselves.
You know what that is, Mazin? That just plays the way in which they fall.
Oh
They've fallen apart over the season.
They quit.
They're mentally out of it. They don't want to play. Like they're laps. Like they just don't have that energy, man. Like it's no reason for you, Carlos Correa, to get paid what you get paid, to be the difference maker supposed to be in the Twins, and then you don't hustle as you still have a chance to make the postseason. Like it's just on them. Like you can just see they have nothing left.
Nothing left.
They got nothing left.
You don't want them to get. You don't want to lose this series, right? If you're the Tigers, you want to go in at least win this series. You want to go in hot on Tuesday.
I agree.
To play the wild card.
Listen to me. I think the Tigers are sweeping the White Sox. I'll go on record and say that. I think the Tigers are going to sweep the White Sox. What I am saying though is this is no gimme. Just because they're playing the White Sox doesn't mean they're not going to have to earn it. I think this game is going to be as hard a win as they'll get all season. Those final 3 outs that the Tigers are going to need to get in the 9th inning are going to be as hard 3 outs as you'll get. It's a clinch game. Anytime you're in a clinch game, those final 3 outs are as difficult as it gets. That being said, I think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
If they don't, I don't believe the Twins are going to, by any means, sweep their series.
You can still catch the Royals, and you can still catch the Orioles.
I
gave you those stats.
I don't want anything to do with the Royals. Yes.
Did you read them?
The stats with the Twins lost last night?
No, with the Tigers could get a home game.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's a long shot.
It's a long shot, and we could probably talk about that on Monday if that happens. I don't think that'll happen. In fact, I prefer the Houston Astros.
Do you really?
I do.
All right.
I do prefer the Houston Astros. Oh, I think Houston's just kind of like done with their run right now.
I hope you're right.
I think Houston is, there are a couple of guys like Bregman. He's out of Houston. Verlander's.
He might be here.
He might be here. Verlander's done, I think, in Houston.
Yeah, he's done.
All these guys, I think that team, Dusty Baker's out of there now. This is a much different team than they were in the past. And Baltimore, I just don't want to mess with Baltimore. I just have shades of 2014. I don't want anything to do with them.
Well, you played them 6 times, so they kind of know what you got now. You haven't played the Astros in a long time, but they get Blanco, they roll him out. He's almost had 2 no-hitters this year. They got some good arms, man, and they got that stinking Altuve. That's Braylon's guy. You know, Braylon will be betting him to hit a home run.
Hey, man. Hey, Jose shows up in the playoff, whether he's cheating or not.
I know. I can't stand that little.
It's so crazy that he has a bat. Like, his bat's his large bat, because he's a short, small guy. I actually had a chance to pass by him when I was in Houston, and super, super, super short guy.
He's a guy that you want to root for, but I can never look at him the same way again. I just can't after what he did with the electronic devices and the garbage
chest
cans.
protector.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this earlier today. First of all, let me play this from Dan Campbell for you. Everybody's on board with the Detroit Tigers. It kind of feels like a couple of years ago when the Lions started to get good and everybody's like, "Oh, are you a bandwagon fan? Can you jump on board with these guys?" Here's what Dan Campbell had to say about watching the Tigers, paying attention to the Tigers.
Man, I'm rooting for those guys. You know, I do. I love it because I think when you sit in these seats and you do what they're doing at a professional level, it doesn't matter where you're at. You just got to keep improving. And you just improve, work. And that's what they've done. And you just don't know how many different kinks you're working through and, you know, that you're trying to work out and find the best rotation and figure this out and work on this and work with this and what about this and the lineup and pretty soon you find it and then you just get better and better and better. And that's what they've done. They're playing really good right now. So, yeah, I'm fired up for them.
Everybody's fired up for him. You know, one of the things we were talking about earlier on the Fox 2 show that I do in the morning was about bandwagon fans. And Maz, you even mentioned it yesterday. It's a diehard Tigers fan.
Yeah.
You know, you're the guy that's been going to the park all year long and for the last 10 years.
Absolutely.
And now you probably can't
move seats.
Can't get a ticket. You
I can't move seats around.
Can't,
Tonight's a sellout
like that.
tonight. It's a sellout all weekend.
Standing room only. And
I don't need that.
Braylon, how do you, as a professional athlete, are you like, hell yes, come on board? Or are you like, where were you at when I needed you most?
Nah, man, you're just happy to get a fan when you get a fan, especially when the fans are showing up like they are now doing downtown Detroit at Comerica Park. It just fuels you. It fuels the fire. It fuels what you guys already got going. The Tigers understand as players. They understand where they were at the beginning of the season. They understand where they were over the past 10 years. They've seen where the franchise has been. So to get these fans now, just diehard Tigers fans that ordered Xfinity, they ordered the
Bally Sports,
the
upgrade
on Xfinity or Bally Sports, and now they're finding them. And now it's 32,000 strong, and now it's sold out. You're happy to have that, man, because it's only going to give you that much more energy for the ride that you're already on.
Right, I tweeted out yesterday. I thought it was a great tweet. They don't know it's a damn show. They think it's a damn fight.
Right.
They don't know what the hell they're doing. This team doesn't belong with the big rollers. It doesn't. They are a young team. They don't know the first thing about what they're doing. And I want them to keep it up. Because any guy that AJ brings in from the bullpen, any of them, most of them have a 5 ERA or worse.
I feel like Shelby Miller got screwed.
He probably did. You know what? He probably had a 7 ERA, but he was still making out.
Bo Brisky out there dealing last night.
He's a star now.
He's a closer.
He's unbelievable.
He's the closer.
Come on, man.
We got our own Mariano Rivera.
They are
Jokes.
unbelievably. Stay asleep, Tigers. Stay asleep. Do not turn into a pumpkin.
That energy is infectious. I mean, we watched the game yesterday, a little watch party. Shout out to Soroki. Shout out to Taller for being a sponsor in that. But we watched it. You saw the energy at the end. You see who was it that slid home, got the game winning run?
Matt Vierling.
So I thought it was Vierling. You see
veteran.
the energy as he's sliding because he's the vet. He knows what it is. The other ones don't know what they're doing. You see the picture on the mound when he closes the game out.
Right.
Like the energy is ridiculous. I saw somebody post the energy at the end with him getting hyped when he threw the pitch. Game's over, and they put the Titanic soundtrack to it. It is one of those type moments, man. This is something you'll look back and why stop at the first round? I think that's why we're having our conversation. Why start with just making the postseason? Like legendary runs, you don't know how they're going to end. You just ride the wave. The teams that you look back, Maz, you can think of some of the legendary runs that have happened throughout sports, whether it's baseball or NHL. The St. Louis Blues, 3 years ago, they did not know that 4 years ago. They didn't know that was going to be a legendary run when they started in February.
Yep.
And here they are, the first time their franchise wins when they were in dead last. A legendary run just happens. It just happens. So I think this is ours. And shoot, I think it's going to end in the World Series. I
called it the other day.
You got me on board.
I got nothing. I got no jinx, no nothing. I don't think they can get beat.
I trust my
I
eyes.
just do not think they can get beat.
If you look at the teams in the postseason right now, and you look at Houston, look at Baltimore, look at
There's
the
no juggernauts.
Cleveland Guardians
Juggernauts.
or the New York Yankees, who can't the Tigers pitch with? They could pitch with anybody in baseball.
To me, Cleveland's the toughest out.
Yeah.
And they
Ramirez
probably
is-
are. You know, one of the things Detroit has done so well over the course of the last couple of months is they win games late. If you get to if you don't have a lead in the sixth inning, you're not winning that game.
Nope.
You're just
Class
not
A
winning.
comes in
now,
and it's over.
I know there was one game this year that I think the Tigers beat Class A. Of course, they beat them at Comerica Park. It was a rain game, and I remember coming home one night. My kids had a swim meet, and it was pouring. And I come home, I turn the Tigers game on, and they beat Class A.
Wow.
And
he's as close to Rivera as you're going to get right now.
Exactly. They beat him or they lost to him in extras. It was close, whatever the case may be. But they tagged him.
Remember 06, guys? The Justin Verlander coming out party, beating the Yankees. Joel Zamaya. Who the hell is this guy?
Right.
Remember that team? A bunch of nobodies thrown in with Pudge Rodriguez and Maglio Ordonez. Placido Polanco? Come on, man. This has that kind of feel to me.
They were just better at the beginning of the year, I think. Weren't they? What did they start the year?
I don't remember.
Who?
The 06 Tigers? I don't remember.
They got off to a great start.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, they got off to a great start.
They're like 35 and 11?
that was the Cleveland series when Jim Leland went nuts. He said, this stuff ain't going to fly over here.
They beat the Yankees in the ALDS.
I know, but earlier in the season, the Tigers won the first two games in a series with Cleveland and then came and laid an egg on that Sunday game. He said, we don't do that here. This is not going to happen here.
That's the typical Jim Leland Sunday game throwaway.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, August 3rd, if I may, it was Saturday, August 3rd. The Tigers were 52-59. They were 7 games under 500 at the time. And that was the Jim Leland game, by the way, August 3rd.
Okay.
Jim Leland.
Remember when he yelled that to him?
He said, go win it. Go win the bleeping game. Go win the bleeping game has been a rallying cry for this team a little bit, I think. 52-59 heading into that Saturday, August 3rd game against Kansas City. The Tigers ended up winning that game 6-5 in 11 innings, and it feels like that catapulted this team a little bit into the last 2 months of the season. And what we have seen from them, 52-59 at the time, and now what are they? 85-74.
Just remember 84, guys. It's the 40-year anniversary. What did they start that year out with?
35-5.
What are they finishing this year out with?
50-50. That was
30-11.
And put 3 more wins on it.
33-11.
Sounds pretty damn close to me. Sounds pretty damn close.
Right.
Because what were they, 35-5, and then they finished 50-50?
Then they went
Yeah, they
500.
went 500
Yeah.
the rest of the way.
I know a little something.
Yeah, look at you, Bray.
I know a little something.
1984.
Should have played the Cubs in the World Series.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
But just sticking with Tigers baseball for a minute, Yankees and Dodgers both closed out their divisions last night. The Dodgers did so, scoring 7 runs in the last couple of innings.
Yep.
I mean, this team is incredible, the Dodgers.
But Freddie Freeman got hurt. I saw him slide back into first. He's hurt.
And we'll see what happens with the Dodgers. I think that, obviously the Dodgers are in win now mode. I like the Phillies all year long over the Dodgers. I think just if there's a team to beat the Dodgers, built to beat the Dodgers, I think it's the Phillies.
I hope you're right.
And what can you say about the Yankees? I just don't.
Inconsistent.
I like the Yankees. I'm a Yankee fan. I am not a Yankee hater. I've never grown up a Yankee hater. Derek Jeter's one of my favorite athletes of all time, so I always rooted for the Yankees. They just don't seem like they're built for the postseason.
I said it since day one. This team is not winning the World Series. Did they win and they dominated towards the end? Yeah, they don't have a bullpen, guys. You can't win in the playoffs without a bullpen, even with Aaron Judge, Stanton, and who am I
Soto.
missing? And Juan Soto.
Yeah.
I mean, 58 homers, 143 RBI for Aaron Judge.
Soto's got what, 48?
Yeah,
50?
and he's been hurt the last couple of weeks, on and off. So John Sterling's back in the booth for the playoff run for him.
Is he really?
Yeah, they put him back in the booth for the last couple of weeks, and he'll do the last playoffs here with Susie Waldman.
Oh, wow.
Should be fun, man.
That is
Should
great.
be fun.
I feel like the Phillies are the team, right? I gotta agree with you on that. Maz, you and I have been locked into these playoff series the last 4 years. And in the last 3 years, the Phillies are right there. Every year, they're right
exciting.
there. They actually seem like the team to be once the playoffs start, because it's nothing like watching playoff baseball at that Phillies Park. What's Phillies Park called?
The Bank.
The Bank.
Citizens Bank Park.
Listen, I love Comerica Park. I love a lot of other ball. There's nothing like it. Philly fans, they understand it. And the announcers, the score, the lighting, everything is right there. So
Really is.
I think this is the Phillies' year. Like, if anybody's supposed to win it, I think it's Bryce Harper. I think this is the one he's supposed to win. He's become a Philly guy since he left Washington. This is theirs for the taking.
I'll take Philly Tigers.
Yeah,
No doubt about it. So if you look at the wild card, so the Phillies and Dodgers would get that bye into the divisional round.
Yep.
The Milwaukee Brewers would have to play the team that gets the last wild. There's one spot left in the postseason.
Mets and Braves.
Mets, Braves, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Diamondbacks. Defending
Two of
NL
those
champs.
Two of those three teams will make it.
And
Mets, Braves, Diamondbacks.
It'll be Braves and Diamondbacks.
You think so?
Yeah. Mets have a doubleheader against Atlanta in Atlanta on Monday, thanks to this Hurricane Helene. It's been awful. They just have bad luck. It's just a bad luck franchise.
So San Diego would play the lowest wild card team, and then the Milwaukee Brewers would play the second wild card team.
Brewers have the best road record in baseball. What?
And they're doing
Watch
so
out for
without
the Brewers.
Christian Yelich as well.
Yep.
In the American League, Baltimore, it appears, will get the top wild card spot. They'll play Kansas City. Most likely, if the season ended today, they would play Kansas City. Detroit would play Houston. Cleveland and the Yankees would get the bye.
Don't forget, KC and the Tigers are dead heat.
But the Royals,
I know that.
I've just said if the season ended today.
Fine.
Okay? Why are you breaking my balls?
If the Tigers win more games this weekend than the Royals, the Tigers will play the Orioles.
That's right. There's no doubt about that. They're tied
Who's
right
KC playing this weekend?
KC plays, hold on one second. I got it right here. Atlanta.
Wow.
At Atlanta.
Wow. And Atlanta desperate to get in the playoff. Wow.
They're fighting.
I'm betting on the Tigers to be second. How do you not?
How do you not?
How do you not?
Kansas City. What type of resiliency does Bobby Witt Jr. have?
They swept their last series, but they played the home of the blind. They played Washington, and they played them hard.
Yeah.
Washington played them hard. No offense to the blind. I'm sorry.
Right.
Speaking of the home of the blind, I can't wait till we talk about Monday Night Football, because
Oh God.
3-0 is the record, but you got to look at the three teams they played.
We're going to talk about that coming up next with Dan Miller, voice of the Detroit Lions. We'll catch up with Miller coming up next. But first, a message from our friends from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. It's the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. It's a 3C sports league. Now, this is the league for you. This is the one that we here at Woodward Sports support. But it's also the best league in metropolitan Detroit. Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. And guess what? Register here. Let's make it easy. BGCSM.org. All coaches are trained, certified, and they do undergo background checks. So look, your kids are in good hands. Put youth back into youth sports. Get the kids out of the house and onto the fields and into the cheer. 3C Sports League is the league for you. Time to get that membership, because your fitness is essential. And the great thing about Planet Fitness, they have a fitness that fits into your budget with over 50 locations in metropolitan Detroit. It's the spot for you. It's the #1 gym in the state. That's because it features a squeaky clean gym, as well as home of the judgment-free zone. You don't want to come in the gym and people tell you what you have to do, how you have to do it, what you have to lift. This is a no judgment-free zone. So you come in, you do your thing. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go. Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey everybody, dreaming of a new home but feeling in a financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today, 248-290-8242. Check them out online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And hey, you might as well look good, feel good. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code or get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Do you have any clarity on Lee Frank in particular? Frank, that seems like something that would be extremely tough to play through.
Yeah, look, I don't think we're going to put Frank down this week. I don't think it. So I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. I mean, we can go round and round if we want. We're not even going to mess with that. Frank's tough. I mean, he's as tough as nails. Anybody can play through it. It's him. I think we got to be smart. It's early in the year. We got a lot of football left, and Aleem's doing better. He's day to day. He'll be out there running around today. So we're pretty good there.
That was Dan Campbell earlier in the week talking about some of the injuries that have occurred to the Detroit Lions, most notably Frank Ragnow, the heart and soul of that offensive line. Frank Ragnow, my goodness, big loss in the middle there. How long will he be out? Time will tell. We'll see. Hey, let's talk about this one. Lions and Seahawks, Monday Night Football in Detroit. A rare Sunday off for the great Dan Miller. How you doing, Dan?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Dan.
What's going on, Dan?
Happening?
You, baby. Hey, let me ask you, first and foremost.
Is this like the skinny Ermanni? I haven't seen you in so long, man. Look at you.
This is Ozempic Ermanni.
It's making your hair disappear, too. You got a haircut.
I know, man.
Look at this guy, man.
I'm telling you, Lady Jane's and Ozempic does wonders for you.
Hey, Dan, I lost an ounce on the top of my head as well.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
listen, good job, man. Every little bit counts.
I feel bad. I'm growing here, so I just be quiet.
Dan, how big of a loss is Frank Ragnow?
Huge. I mean, Look, he's one of the best centers in the league, and he's the guy in the middle of that line that makes the calls. And the nice thing is you got Grant Glasgow to step in there as a veteran, and you trust him. And Coyote Owasika, who will jump in at guard, played a lot of snaps for them last year. But you don't get stronger losing a Frank Ragnow. But it's like Dan Campbell said earlier this week. This team is built for the next guy to step up, like most teams in the NFL are going to talk about. But we've seen the Lions live that life. We saw the injuries last year where they had to make do in the secondary and at times on the offensive line. So it's not great Everything that seemed to come out on Monday after that Arizona game was kind of deflating when it came to the injuries, but you just got to figure out a way to keep going. And guys like Josh Paschal and Coyote Owasika and Graham switching positions and whoever else they put in there all have to step up because nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Look, Seattle's had their share of injuries too, so you just move forward.
Dan, you're absolutely correct, man. And this type of things happen, but it's good to see that Detroit Lions have added that depth to the offensive line as well as Hank Fraley. Hank Fraley has dealt with this now as the coach of the offensive line. He's dealt with it over the last couple of years. Isn't it good to see this happening in a week after they reestablished that they are a running team? You see the carries last week, 43 carries for the Detroit Lions. They got back to their identity, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's good to see.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know what? We saw it at the end of that Rams game, too, where they just ran the ball down the field.
Overtime,
in overtime. So there's obviously, look, we know who this team is. We know what they want to do. They want to set up the pass with the run. And, you know, I think against Tampa, they just were going off what happened last year where they had passed the ball a lot against the Buccaneers and tried to kind of do it the other way, set up the run with the pass. And it just, you know, it didn't work out that way. That's just still one of the strangest games I've been around, guys. 7 trips to the red zone, 1 cash in. So every time that you say, okay, they didn't do this and they didn't do that, you know, you can also make the case, man, they moved the ball. It's just a frustrating loss. But, Braylon, you're right. The more that you can get the ball into the hands of you know, Montgomery and Gibbs, the better off you're going to be because it sets up your ability to then get it to Amon-Ra or to get it to Sam Laporta or to get it to J-Mo, whatever the case may be. So I would anticipate we'll see some of that. This is an interesting Seahawks defense coming in. They have given up some yards on the ground, haven't given up much through the air, but I would submit they haven't faced much in the way of quarterbacks either. So I think it's going to be a night where you learn a lot about both teams.
Dan, I want to stick with the offense for a second. Shocking that I would like to stick with the offense. Jared Goff. Now, I got to be careful how I phrase this question because anytime you talk about Jared Goff, the fan base seems to jump. I'm not talking negatively to Jared Goff. With that being said, this is game 4 of the regular season. He hasn't necessarily looked great in games 1, in games 2, and games 3. He's gotten better. Is this a game that you need to see something more out of 16 and considering he's a leader on offense? There'll be no Frank Ragnow. This is the $53 million year. Do you need to see something more out of Jared Goff going against a Geno Smith that he's lost to twice?
Yeah, I think it's been an uneven season for Goff. I mean, if you go back to the first half of the game last week against the Cardinals, they put up 20 points. They scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions. You're thinking, all right, here we go. And then in the second half, you know, there was nothing to show for it in terms of points. So I think if you ask Jared, he'd tell you, look, we're looking for a complete effort, a complete 60-minute effort where they play to their capabilities because we know what this offense is capable of. So, yeah, I would put it on Jared. I would put it on this offense. I would put it on everybody that's out there to make plays and finish drives and put up the kind of performance that we know that they're capable of. Jared is right in the middle of it. Yeah. He's the quarterback. He came out of that Bucs game and said there were times where he tried to do too much. So I thought he showed great patience in the first half of that game against the Cardinals and just waited for something to come open. Things weren't happening down the field. A lot of checkdowns, which is fine. You've got guys that can make big plays off those. That's the kind of effort it's going to take. Just patience, utilize all the weapons in this offense. And Jared knows how, you know, functional they can be and how productive they can be. So for the whole offense led by Jared, yeah, I'd say this is Monday night. This is prime time. You want to go out there in front of your fans against a good team that's coming in 3-0. Put on a show. Just play like you're capable of playing. Nothing more. Just play like you're capable of playing. This team will be fine.
Hey, Dan, good to have you on again. Thanks for doing this for us on a Friday. We usually have you on Wednesdays, of course, but about that offensive line and Graham Glasgow sliding over to center, we know he can do the job. Who would be next up in case something happens to him? Is there anyone out there on the waiver wire that they could pick up? Anyone in the practice squad? What are your thoughts?
I would think probably Neese would move over from the guys that they have up right now. I would think that he'd be the next one. You know, they have the young kid from Florida on the practice squad right now, but I would think in terms of the guys that are up, it would be Neese. Unless I'm missing something, I think he'd be the next guy. So, look, it's not great. You start getting thin, any position except a receiver right now where they're stacked with guys, 6 guys on the roster. But it's nice to have a veteran to fall back on. If something were to happen to Graham, then it starts getting a lot more dicey.
Right. Sam Laporta back at practice today, which is good news, but he's missed a whole week. We know he's banged up. What are your thoughts on him? I know they have a couple of other tight ends ready to roll. What do you think the offense looks like when they line up on Monday?
We haven't seen the Sam Laporta this year that we've seen last year, and that's not necessarily on him. Sometimes that's opportunity. Sometimes that's what the defense is taking away from you. I do think with some guys, if there's a question this week, they might be careful knowing that they have a bye and you can buy some more time with some of them. So I'll be interested to see what does happen with Sam. It was good to see Aleem back out there. Branch is I didn't get his report as to what he did today yet, but I know he was back out there running around some yesterday. So look, they were beat up coming out of that game with Sam, with Aleem, with Branch being in concussion protocol, with three guys that we know aren't going to play between Davenport and Barnes and Ragnow. So it's a combination of trying to get your best guys out there, but also being smart with the understanding that while this early bye, when you got it on the schedule, probably was not the best looking thing in the world, now all of a sudden with the way they're beat up comes at a good time. So I would love to see Sam out there, but if he's got something that's nagging him, you just want to be smart because you got a long way to go after this game.
Last week's game reminded me of last year's Seattle game. It was like a bloodbath. We couldn't get anyone off the damn field. We lost Barnes. We lose a bunch of other guys. Is it because of this preseason, Dan, that all these injuries in the NFL? I haven't seen this many at this time of the year.
I mean, but I feel like for years now we haven't seen people playing a lot in the preseason, and we didn't have this rash of injuries. I was talking to TJ the other day about guys that get hurt all the time, and I said, it's these guys. Is it just freak luck, or are they? And Braylon, you live this life. Is it? Is there something about the structure of their body? He said most of the time it's just luck. I mean, Davenport, it's a different injury each time. It's not like he's got the same thing that keeps cropping up.
That was a dirty play.
Watch the play, torn tricep, just got his arm knocked down. A play that happens 30 times in a game, something like that to different players. And man, just sometimes it's bad luck at a bad time. And I feel terrible for Davenport. He really looked like he could be a nice piece for the Lions, and here he's hurt again, which has been a problem throughout his career. So, man, I don't know, Maz. I mean, people smarter than me would have to say whether or not it's something to do with these guys not playing in the preseason. I feel like for a long time, veterans have gotten minimal participation in the preseason, and they've been okay. So sometimes I think it's luck, and sometimes I think it's just, a confluence of circumstances that makes it look like it's a bunch of different guys that are all getting it at the same time.
Our weekly drive brought to you by Les Stanford, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, DMC. Dan Miller joining us now. Dan, let me ask you, for whatever reason, sometimes teams just have your number. The Seattle Seahawks have beaten the Lions 9 out of 10, 6 in a row. In fact, the last time the Lions beat the Seahawks, Braylon was on the team with the Seahawks.
Everybody likes to bring that up.
Sorry, Bray. I had to, but
it's okay.
They should retire your number.
Right, exactly. They should bring you out. What is it about? Does a team just have another team's number? What do you make of that?
Pete Carroll ain't there.
Start by looking inward. In those 3 games that they have lost to Seattle with Dan Campbell as the head coach, the Lions have turned it over 8 times and Seattle has turned it once. I probably don't need to go on any more than that. It's the biggest indicator of winning and losing in the National Football League. So, that's problematic, number one. Number two, man, they just haven't had an answer for Geno Smith the last 2 years. I mean, the first year it was Russell Wilson. The last 2 years it's been Geno Smith, and he's been outstanding. He's got 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and I think he's like 55 for 71 over those 2 games. The 3 quarterbacks in the 3 games are 75 for 100. So they got to find a way to slow this Seattle offense down, find a way to corral Geno Smith, and probably – coming off that game in which he played against Kyler Murray is a good thing. Geno Smith is not Kyler Murray, but he will get out of there and run if you let him. And the Lions have let him do that. So I think it really starts with, it's always going to start with stopping the run, regardless of which running back is back there for Seattle. Whether it's Charbonnet or whether it's Walker, whatever it is, they have to find a way to slow that down. But Smith has been the guy that has really hurt them, and then they've hurt themselves with turnovers. So, Dan Campbell said it on Monday when he was talking about injuries. He said, whoever's out there, we have to play a clean game. Clean game starts with not giving the other team more opportunities because you turn the ball over. And I think that's where it starts with the Lions. Look at that number in the box score on Monday or Tuesday morning. And if that thing looks even or the Lions are ahead, it gives you a lot better chance to win. That's just life in the NFL.
Dan, you mentioned those two running backs that the Seahawks have. Obviously, the two wide receivers, Tyler Lockett, and three really, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and DK Metcalf get all the love offensively for them. But those two running backs have done some work. Kenneth Walker went over 100 yards in one game. Charbonnet over 90 yards in a game. The Lions' rush defense has not allowed a single player over 70 yards. 70. Since that Carolina game, I think it was back in 2022, they take the running backs out of games.
Yeah, no, that's been a staple of what they do, and it has been for a while. And that's a great place to start on defense. It's where every single coach you talk to every single week tells you have to start. But they're fourth in the league against the run right now. They were second in the league against the run last year. They are an elite defense when it comes to stopping the run, and they're going to have to be this year. They did a great job against Murray in the second half of that game. He really only got loose that one time, which was a 1st and 20, and he got 21 yards on the play. Other than that, they did a great job, and I think it's going to take that kind of effort again. Now, one thing you had in that game that you're going to have in this game was Davenport setting one of those edges. This week, it's going to be Josh Pascal. And you know what? It's go time for Josh. He's a second-round draft pick, and they've been waiting. And now it's his time, and they're looking to him and saying, we need you. And I think this is a really critical time in his career to say, you know what? I can step up and be a starting caliber NFL player, or maybe you get exposed, and it's just kind of a middling effort, and that kind of defines you. I'm a big fan of Josh's. I think he's got a lot of talent, great kid. But it's really go time. He's got to find some way to play now and be one of those guys that can be a force on the other side of Aiden. We know what you're getting out of him, but Aiden needs help as well. And Davenport looked like he was going to be a prime guy to do that. Big, strong guy, set the edge, great bull rush. Now it's going to be Pascal, who was talked about today. He's going to do it a different way, but he's got to get it done. I'm rooting for him. I'm really anxious to see him get a heavy load of snaps and see what he can do with it.
Hey, Dan, final thing. Calvin Johnson going to be honored at halftime. Obviously, it's just so great to see him be a part of this organization again. Just your thoughts on Calvin and the honor and everything that we expect to see at halftime.
Calvin is the best. I mean, it's Calvin is as fine a person as he is a player, and that's world class. I mean, he's just a good dude. And I will say, I was thinking about this last night. I got a lot of things that I've been lucky enough to do, but calling every play of his career is certainly at the top of the list. And just to have that ringside seat, that seat in the press box, to watch him do what he did, just an amazing, amazing first ballot Hall of Fame player. And it's going to be awesome. I mean, it's already electric on a Monday night, but to see Calvin come out there, get his flowers in front of 65,000 plus in downtown Detroit at Ford Field. And as hype as those crowds have been, they'll be even more so with him out there. So I could go on and on about just everything I got to watch with him and, the things he endured, quite frankly, through some tough times and physically and mentally and all that stuff. So I am the biggest Calvin Johnson fan in the world, and I can't wait to see this. And his name belongs up there, and it belongs up there forever, which is exactly where it's going to be.
The great Dan Miller, everybody. Listen to him on 97.1 The Ticket, Lions Radio Network, and, of course, watch him on Fox 2 every night, Sunday Sportsworks Lions game night, and you can check us out and all that good stuff. You got it all going on, and I know you'll be watching the Tigers tonight, sir.
Go get him, Dan.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, but Ermanni, you were fat when they were like losing, and now you're skinny and winning.
See what happened? See how quick it turned around for me?
You're changing the world with a single shot.
He woke up and chose violence today.
Man, he's savage today.
Fat?
Dan is savage today.
Dan, that's not nice, Dan.
That's not the nice guy I know, man.
Hey, man, he can say whatever he wants to be. I know he loves me. And I love you, Dan Miller. I'll see you, buddy.
Good to talk to
See you, Dan.
Quick turnarounds can happen quickly.
As the Tigers and Ryan Ermanni.
Ryan, you were never fat.
Dude, I was overweight.
Yeah, you were a little chubby.
I was about 30 pounds overweight.
Nah.
30.
Not that many.
Obese.
You look great.
Dude, I was 242. 5'10".
I wish I was 242.
Can't be 242, 5'10".
What are you going to do? I'm 250 at 5'9".
Well, I mean, it's fine.
You're 250, man?
It's good.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Just want to get healthy, that's all.
You don't look.
You know,
I'm
you
getting
look,
there, though.
You look great.
I took 5 off.
Yeah, you look great. You look great.
Got a haircut.
You look
got 5
great.
pounds off.
Hey, we're gonna do our picks in the top of the next hour. Dr. Pierce talking about the Lions' injuries in the next segment. Well, I wanted to play Brian Baldinger. He's one of our favorites. Baldy talking about Hutch, because Hutch has been a man on a mission this season so far. This guy's been tremendous. Here's what Brian Baldinger had to say about the Lions' everything defensive player.
Aiden Hutchinson played football. What he did down the desert right there. Tight ends in front of him are just meaningless objects. Like, he's just going to get to the ball. He's going to get to James Conner right there. He helped shut down a pretty good Arizona Cardinal run game so far. Now, you just watch this right here. Tight ends in front of him, like, just all they are just objects that need to get out of the way. All right? Now he takes on Paris Johnson. Now he's waiting for the cutback to James Conner. And then you just watch this effort right here. Now, he played 58 out of 60 snaps, and he plays them all just exactly the same. Like, right here, Benson is going to break this right here. He's not down. He's ready to turn it up. And here comes Hutchinson trying to knock that ball out, all right, trying to make another play on the other side of the field. And then you just watch short yardage right here, all right? You watch him on short yardage like a Panther, in a Panther pose right here. Does Kyler have it? Who's got it? All right, once he knows, now he gets in there and he just slams DeMarcado and pulls him back, all right, setting up a 4th and 1. And then you just watch him get to the quarterback, like right through the right tackle. And he puts a hit, letting Kyler Murray feel his punch. And then you get this right here, all right, 4th quarter, can you finish the game? Going up against Paris Johnson. First time he spun all game. The chop, bam, the spin, all right? The roll, down goes Kyler. Leads the league with 6.5 sacks. Are we looking at a potential J.J. Watt type player in this league? Because he's dominant right now, absolutely dominant, the way J.J. was for a good 4-year stretch in a row.
You know, I'll tell you, he's been tremendous so far this season. I'm curious to see what he does, Braylon, without Marcus Davenport on the other side, because Davenport has been tremendous for this team this year. DJ Reader came in, Aleem McNeil. You know, Hutch, God love him. I love him. We all love him. But the help that he has had on that defensive side of the ball has been really, really good, and it's helped him for sure.
Yeah, it's been really good, but I just want to stick with Hutch for a second and give him the flowers that he's due. Also, it's good seeing a little bit of Michigan versus Ohio State. Paris Johnson Jr. versus Hutch. Hutch is one of those players. They teach this at Michigan. I don't want to make this a Michigan thing, but it's the team. You got to sell out for the guy next to you. You got to sell out for the man to your right. You sell out for the man to your left. And that's what he's essentially doing now in the NFL. He's still doing it at that level. Those run plays, you see a lot of those defensive ends or outside linebackers that are in his position, they're only trying to get to the quarterback. Ryan Ermanni, when the quarterback's not there to get, when they can't collect the sack, when they can't get a strip sack fumble or add to their stat column, they're not in the play. They're not giving you their effort. They're taking the play off. This guy is in every play. He's trying to make a play. And I think that's a lot to do with Alex Anzalone as well. That's the type of player Alex Anzalone is as a captain in that defense. But this is what you want to see from your star player. Like, this is what we asked him to do. We wanted him to come in year 3. We want him to turn it up a notch because you drafted him 2nd overall so that he can be one of those Watt-type players, so that he can be a Bosa-type player. I think regardless of Davenport being in there, even with Aleem or whoever's going to be in there, Ryan, we said we love the hurries. We love the quarterback pressures, but we wanted more. We wanted him to get to the quarterback. We wanted him to get the quarterback on the ground. I think once you see it, Steph Curry is your favorite play, Maz.
Yep.
It's like seeing a 3-ball go in the basket. Once you see 1 go in, 2 fall in, you jump into a rhythm and then you get hot. Aiden's seen himself get to that quarterback. Not once, not twice, not 3, not 4. He's gotten to the quarterback now 6.5 times, I want to say.
Right around there.
6.5 sacks on the season. He knows that he can get to him, just like Baldy said, too, at the end. You see the new move. He saved that move for that moment. He set the move up all game. He didn't show it early on. He has more moves in his arsenal now. So I think now he's gotten to the quarterback at a comfortable clip. I think this is what you'll see. You'll see consistency out of him getting to QB.
And that's what you've been saying over the years, that he has to develop another move or 2.
100%.
And he's starting to do that. I like the way he's even tackling. Even before getting to the quarterback, he's tackling. He's pulling guys back towards him. He is all over that field. Now is the chance to show me the wrong. Show me that I'm wrong. Josh Paschal, you heard Dan Miller. This is it, man. You're drafted in the second round. This is it. You got to be Marcus Davenport. You've got to help. This is your time to shine. And the Seattle line is beat up, by the way. They are beat up team as well. You got to get after Geno Smith. Keep him in the pocket, and they'll win that game.
Hey, let me ask you just quickly. As I was watching the game last night, the Thursday night football game.
Appreciate that.
You mean the laundry?
Yeah, I mean.
What a disgrace.
It is.
My man.
But is there a team in the NFL outside of Buffalo? Because I think Buffalo's been tremendous. And even Buffalo, by the way, should have lost their opening game to Arizona. Marvin Harrison was
wide open.
He had half the field by himself, and Kyler Murray didn't see him. So Buffalo's, 2-1 as well. Just saying. But outside of Buffalo, is there a team in the NFL that has wowed you? I mean, all teams, every team has gotten off to a slow start.
Yeah.
And, Minnesota, I guess. Minnesota. I don't know if they've surprised me, but I don't believe that, Minnesota's some dominant team. They've surprised me.
Everybody.
They've surprised me, but they haven't wowed me with their dominance. I look at Buffalo, I'm like, that team's good. I don't look at Minnesota and I'm like, that team. Okay. Watch out for the Vikings.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying, though?
No,
you see what the question is?
I do see what you're saying. 100% I see what you're saying. I'm just going to add this. If what Buffalo has done in his first 3 games has wowed you, then what Minnesota has done in the first 3 games should have wowed you as well. Sam Darnold is playing lights out. On offense, they're consistent. They have a run game with Aaron Jones as well, so they haven't missed a beat there. And then you have Justin Jefferson that's still playing at that level. They're very confident. But Ryan, on the defensive side, what Brian Flores has done defensively, he's turned that defense up a major notch. They lost to Neil Hunter last year as one of the league leaders in sacks, and they haven't missed a beat. They've gotten better. So if what the Bills have done has wowed you, then I would say the Minnesota Vikings have to have wowed you as well. But to your point, outside of those teams, including the Chiefs, including the 49ers and anybody else, nobody's wowed you. This is a very, very, very open league in week 4. But I agree with you, though.
You, Maz?
Josh Allen as a player.
And that's really...
And I think that's what it is, more Josh Allen than the Bills.
Absolutely, because I feel like Josh Allen is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, or has the potential to be. And that's really what... If you put Josh Allen on Minnesota, I'm thinking they're the Super Bowl favorite. And I think
he has that running dimension.
That's the difference, right?
You put him here, they'd be Super Bowl favorites.
Well, yeah, I guess if you put him anywhere. Right. But that's what separates the teams that can contend with teams that can't.
More teams stink than teams are good.
Yeah.
A lot. Look every year.
A lot of teams have wowed me in the negative.
Exactly. How
Cincinnati,
many teams sneak in?
Baltimore.
Ooh.
There's usually 3 teams that get in the playoffs that weren't there the year before. This is it again.
Yeah.
It's the same. The NFL has perfected the medicine. They've done it. Every game is a 7 or less point game. There might be a couple of blowouts, but every game you're in the game the whole game.
I think there would be another team that could have been because they won week 1. I think another team that could have been a wild team maybe could have been the Green Bay Packers. I think Jordan Love getting hurt.
You bet.
I think Green Bay
could be 3-0.
100%. Green Bay is the team that I think could have been on the same pace as the Bills as well as the Vikings. Jordan Love getting injured looks a little different. I like Green Bay's defense a lot. Like Rashawn Gary has turned into the player that we thought he was going to be at Michigan. Now we understand that was player development, so not on him. But he's turned into that player. And then on offense, they're as solid as offense in the NFL, and they're young. So I think Green Bay is another team that maybe hasn't wowed me, but I know they're there as well.
Matt LaFleur,
he's the man,
has made Malik Willis a starting quarterback.
Yep.
He has.
Yeah. Coaching.
Laugh what you want, but Malik Willis is 2-0 as a starter for the Green Bay Packers, and he might go again this week.
But this is how you become a great coach. This is how you this is how your reputation starts to precede you. Like when you have Aaron Rodgers, anybody can take Aaron Rodgers in their mind, correct? And they can go 13-3 3 years in a row. Look, you got Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of weapons, Devontae Adams. But it's when you add Jordan Love, who everybody was out on, and now you go to the second round of the playoffs. It's when you add Malik Willis, who many said shouldn't have even been drafted, quarterback, and now they won 2 games with Malik Willis. That's when people start to look at you like Kyle Shanahan. He's taking this guy to the Super Bowl, this guy to the Super Bowl, this guy. He's now starting to get his flowers because of, hey, look, man, he's done that with Doom. It's not the players per se.
Yep.
This coach is damn good.
Damn good.
We're going to take a break. We'll do our picks next. But first, a message from Braylon Edwards and Caesars.
All right.
Hail, Caesars.
If I told you can win up to $1,000 on one bet, and if you lose, that money will be returned to you in a casino bonus bet. You think I was lying? Well, no, that's not the case. Caesars Sportsbook, you can do that up to $1,000 is the bet. If your bet loses, you will get that $1,000 back in the bonus bet. But you got to use the code word, Woodward 1000, and make sure it's in all caps. That's how you get paid. There's the QR code, Caesars Sportsbook. It's the one we use here at Woodward Sports. Minimum bet is $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. You see it.
And Premier Pet Supply, hands down Michigan's best pet store, family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, curbside delivery, and nutritionists on call for any questions you have about your pet, your beloved pet. So give your pet the best, don't settle for less. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out PremierPetSupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Proof that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today.
Wow. Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Have you heard of a long drink, the gin-based cocktail? We've got one made right here in Michigan, made with all natural ingredients for a better flavor. Taller, the Dutch long drink from New Holland Brewing Company is shoulders above the rest. Made from New Holland's small batch gin, 100% real grapefruit puree for a fresh and delicious flavor. Taller, your local long drink, Bray.
You know what goes well with Taller is the signature wings at Soroki's, home of the crispy chicken and pizza. Look, Soroki's is a place popping up all over metropolitan Detroit. This is the place for you, whether the wings are the teriyaki, the barbecue, the honey mustard, lemon pepper, garlic. They got them all. And if that's not your speed, they still got those pieces. Talking about New York pies on deck, and the honey biscuits are to brag about too. So Soroki's, why don't you come in, because this is where real fans party.
And hey, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, and want to thank them for sponsoring our Dan Miller segment too. By the way, thanks for doing that. You need a new car, need a pre-owned car, need some service? Check out Les Stanford Chevrolet dealerships in Ferndale, on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile, in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been on in that great city for over 55 years. Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
All right, Tom Mazaway, here we go. Hour number 2 of the program. Braylon, we've got some work to do, my friend. We have got some work to do. I need a pen, actually, for this segment.
Here you go.
You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
All right.
I'll do the numbers so far for us.
No, maybe not. Don't do the numbers.
In first place, we got Kenny G. As at 5-2 last week.
Kenny's on a tear.
12-7
He's also
on
not
the
at work.
year.
Where the hell is Kenny G
Where
at?
is Kenny today?
He's got mom duty today.
Oh, man.
All right.
Bring your kids. Bring your kids to work.
Bring your kid to work day.
I finished 6-1 last week. I am second at 11-8, one game behind the pace. Pete went 4-3 last week. His first winning season. First winning week, he's up to 6 wins.
Okay. Hey, Pete gave you a good parlay or whatever.
He did.
What does he do? What do you call it? The same game parlay?
Pete's parlay.
Pete's parlay.
Braylon with 3-4 last week. He's got 8 wins. And Ryan bringing up the rear with 6 wins.
Shocking.
Bringing up the rear with 6
8-win situation, you know.
All right.
I got cheated. That's
Call it out, Maz.
Ryan got cheated.
Hey, can I get a little music here, Silent Mike? I like this segment to not be silent.
You ready to roll?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
None of these games entice me, by the way. It's an ugly week of football. Last week was great. This week, not so great. Let's start it off with our division, of course. Bye, ladies. The L.A. Rams going into the Windy City.
Shout out to my mom, Brittany, and her mom as well. They jumped in the studio. We apologize.
Yes.
We got the L.A. Rams in Chicago against the Bears. Bears are a 2.5-point favorite at home, Ryan.
I'm going to go with the Rams and Matthew Stafford as a dog on the road. I think it is difficult to go East Coast, West Coast to, Central time zone, I guess it would be. But nonetheless, I'm going with the Rams, LA Rams.
Go ahead, Bray.
When you play in a division, even when you leave that division, you still hate that division's rivals. And this is a rival for him. The Chicago Bears, I'm getting Matt Stafford to take this game serious, and they won last week.
You got the Rams as well?
I got the Rams.
I'm taking the Bears. I like them to win this game and to cover that 2.5. Give Kenny G the Rams as well. Pete, that goes to you now.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Rams. I like the running game over the Bears running game, so I think that'll be the pace of the game. I will take the Rams.
All right.
Blake Corum.
No, he don't have it.
He don't have it.
He don't have it. They're using Khalil Herbert, I think. The Roshan. I forgot his last name. Anyway, they're using him. All right, game number 2. Steve, keep it in the NFC Central, the old NFC Central. Vikings and the Packers in Lambeau Field. Packers, a 2.5-point favorite. Jordan Love might play, or Malik Willis might play. So we got going to Braylon. Packers, 2.5-point favorites over the Purple Gang.
This is a tough game, man.
It is a tough game.
It's because I really want to take the Pack, because I think at some point water does have to level off. But I don't think this is the game. Like I'm gonna stick with Minnesota. I'm gonna stick with what they're doing, and it's not because of how great the offense is. Once again, I trust Brian Flores and what he's done with that defense. Give me the Vikings.
I got the Pack. Packers for me. Lay the points. They go to 3-1, and they give Minnesota their first loss. Kenny G is taking the Packers as well. Pete, that goes to you.
Hey, I'm going to go with the expert, Braylon Edwards. He knows what he's talking about. I am going to go with the hot-throwing Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings.
Look, this game is a coin flip to me. It could be, however, I have to believe that at some point water will find its level with the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold. He can't look this good this many weeks in a row. Everybody's due a bad game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be this week. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Green Bay wins by double digits.
Okay.
I'm going to say Green Bay wins by
You
double
don't get
digits.
any extra points, though.
No, but I don't think it's going to be as close as the experts think it will be.
All right. Another close spread. So far, I've given you 2.5 point spread.
Yeah.
The next game is a 2-point spread.
The NFL's figured it
It's
out.
the Eagles at the Tampa Bay Bucks. Bucks a home underdog, getting 2. We're going to let Pete lead off.
That's a question before
That's
Pete.
really-
Where's AJ Brown at?
He's
still
out.
out.
He's still out. Yeah, that's it's weird to see the Bucks, who are playing pretty doggone good, as a home underdog. Give me Tampa Bay Bucks, and hopefully they'll wear those Bruce Buccaneer uniforms.
Kenny G's taking the Bucks as well. Ryan?
This is my lock of the week. Philadelphia.
Wow. And my lock's the Bucks.
Yep. Philadelphia's lock of the week.
Hold on, wait a minute. In the 4 years of doing this show, have we ever had locks against each other?
I don't think so.
I don't think
that's
so.
ever happened.
Lock of the week, Philadelphia.
Lock of the week, Tampa?
You could put me down for Tampa.
Mark this. Okay, I like this.
Hey,
You
Bray,
gotta have a little sideways.
You're the man. You're the Price is Right here.
Price is Right. I'm
Bucks
going to say the Price is Right with the Philadelphia Eagles. I wanted to say Tampa. I want to say they get back on track. You know what it is, Mask? They figured it out. Give the effing ball to Saquon Barkley.
Oh, my God.
Give the ball to
great.
Saquon Barkley. I believe that Nick Sirianni is like, all right, you know what? Let's not be cute. We don't have A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts don't like each other. Give the freaking ball to the guy that you went out and got, and the guy that is the second highest paid running back in the NFL, and Saquon Barkley. I think they get back on track with the run game. Give me Philly.
right.
I love you, man. We're on the same team.
100.
Yes.
Always.
All
What it
right,
matters.
let's move on. 2 guys in last place. All right. Chiefs at the L.A. Chargers. The L.A. Chargers are a home underdog, getting 7.5 from Kansas City. Braylon, you lead it off.
Chiefs haven't looked great this year, and they're playing a Chargers team that they're getting to a disciplined format, if you will. 7.5, I think, is a lot. Give me the Chargers with the points.
Dude.
I think Chiefs win, but Chargers with the points.
Kenny G wants the Chargers as well, Ryan.
I wrote down KC, but I think I've talked myself into the Chargers. I mean, they got no quarterback.
No.
So
it's going to be Tyler Heineke.
I saw the over under in this game is 39.
Oh.
For a Patrick Mahomes game.
Oh.
A game that involves Patrick Mahomes, the over-under for that game is 39. Do they think it's going to be 35-0? Or do they think or do they think that Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter are going to have a rabbit
25-10?
pull a rabbit out of the hat?
I think Dobbins is hurt too.
Is he?
No,
Yeah.
he's questionable.
He's questionable.
Yep. He is nursing an injury.
It's so play the number, not the game. I know I'm going to go against everything that I believe in. I'm going to play the team and not the number. Give me the Chiefs.
Can I change mine?
Yeah.
You can change it.
Isn't Bosa out now too?
Yeah, he's out.
Bosa's always out.
He never
though.
plays. I haven't
He's
seen him since
always
Ohio
out.
State.
Did I tell you Kenny G's Chargers?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me the Chiefs.
Okay.
Bray changing.
Give me the
Uh-oh.
Chiefs.
You and Ryan sticking together.
I got to, man. That's my guy.
Well,
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Okay.
I don't love it,
I know.
but I'm gonna
That's
take them.
hold your nose and pray.
And Pete,
If this was last
Guys.
year, I would have took the Chargers. I think this year,
You know what this indicates, though? Sorry, Pete.
no, you're fine.
You know what this indicates? No reasonable person would ever put money on this game.
no way.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell
This,
no.
this
No way.
this is the epitome of a stay away game if there was ever
And
one.
I think it's the biggest spread.
yeah.
The funny thing is, there's no parts of this game that I want to bet on. Let's just say you're doing a parlay with players. I'm not betting on Travis Kelce.
Just bet the under.
The only person you can bet on is Rashi Rice.
Bet the under.
I'm not betting on J.K. Dobbins. I'm not betting on Quentin Johnston. Hey, there's no parlays.
Real hard to bet
behind
an
that.
under in a Patrick Mahomes game.
But look at the number.
I know.
What do they want you to do?
Bet the over.
Of course. Last night, what did I tell you? Thursday night, slop.
Yeah, you and
Under.
You and
You're right.
That. Was
Pete.
it 35?
You know, guys, it's, you know, Bragg, you kind of stole my thunder on that one a little bit. It's like, you know, who's Justin Herbert really throwing to? This game is going to come down to the arms, the quarterbacks, and their throwing style. That's all Patrick Mahomes. I agree with you, Ryan Ermanni. I think Kansas City wins by double. I think they win by double digits.
They might.
In this game. I really do. So,
And the other thing about it, too, Pete, not to cut you off, is how does Kansas City win games now? It's not on offense.
Right.
Their defense is the best defense in the NFL. That defense versus this Chargers offense. Yeah, I think that's where the match lies.
Gotcha.
Here we go. The undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers go to Indianapolis against the very underwhelming Colts. Colts are a home dog, getting 1.5 points. Pete, lead off.
This is one of my favorite games on the marquee, guys. This game, I watch my Red Zone, but if there's a game I'm going to watch at 1 o'clock, it's going to be this one.
Sick.
I know. I am sick. I am a disgusting individual because I think the Steelers go 4-0.
Oh.
I don't know how, but they're going to do it. They're going to go 4-0, and it's going to be. You know what? The Colts just don't look like they're all together. When Anthony Richardson can find Michael Pittman, whenever that happens, that would be very nice. But yeah, I think the Steelers go 4-0 on this one.
Jeez.
Book it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lock of the week. I am going with the Steelers to go up 4-0.
Wow.
Statistically, they are the best defense in football right now. They're going against the Colts in a very erratic Anthony Richardson and a Colts offense that can't find their water. I'm telling you, it's maybe ugly, but like you said, I'm not going to. Mike Tomlin said, I'm not going to tell you the ingredients of the hot dog, but you still like it, right?
Yep.
They're winning this because of the defense. Give me the Steelers in the lock of the week.
What's the over-under in this game?
Hold on, let me see.
The over.
It's got to be in the 30s.
You got it?
It's got to be in the 30s.
40 and a half.
40 and a half. What garbage. What
Terrible.
garbage.
Terrible.
I circled the Colts. I can't bet the Steelers, even though you said it. They have a great defense. The Colts, they got to win this game. Give me Indy. And give Indy to KG as well.
I just cannot accept a 4-0 Pittsburgh Steelers team. At some point, Indianapolis has to win a game, and Pittsburgh has to lose one. By that alone, I'm just picking Indianapolis.
I agree. I think there's something special there with Justin Fields and Mike Tomlin. I was watching the interview that Mike Tomlin did. I think it was with Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder, excuse me. And he was just talking about how coaches talk about players. He said, if you're talking to me about anything other than personality traits, you're talking about things that are coachable or a coach can fix. He said, I love it. He said, because a lot of these coaches, they run from coaching. And he was talking about Justin Fields indirectly, but talking about what they did to him in Chicago. He said, they run the coaching. He said, that's what we're here for. He said, if everybody knew exactly what to do, then coaches wouldn't get paid. He said, but this is where the coaching comes in. And I think Justin Fields is finding something in Mike Tomlin and this Pittsburgh team. Look, it still is ugly, but I think it's taking some shape, taking some form. I think something special is going on. It's ugly, but give me the Steelers. I like it. I think Mike Tomlin is going to revitalize Justin Fields because he is a quarterback. The guy his team to the national championship.
Justin Fields went on and said it this week that the Steelers coaches are so much better than the Chicago Bear coaches. He actually said those words. So he put it out there. All right, this is an old division battle. Not anymore, though. It is. The Commanders, who looked fantastic on Monday night, they're traveling out to the desert to take the Redbirds on. The Cardinals are a home favorite, but it's a cheapie. It's a 3-point game. 3-point game. I'll lead it off. Give me the Cardinals to rebound and beat the Commanders. Coming off a short week. Give me the Cards.
Same. You hear me chirping over here. I'll go. Arizona's going to win this game. Everybody sees that. Everybody sees what Washington did on national television. This is their next game after that. Just beat down to Cincinnati. Up down theory. Now Washington has to travel west. No way.
This might be an overgame.
Oh, this is all absolutely an overgame.
This might be an overgame. Go ahead, Bray.
Give me the Commanders.
You like that guy.
Give me the Commanders.
You like that kid.
I like Jaden Daniels.
I like him too.
He's a very humble
Who don't
kid.
like him this week?
But he's on the field and he's electric. He's fun. They got a wide receiver crew that is fire out there. You look and see, man. It's
Terry McLaurin.
100%. Scary Terry is back. I like what I saw of them, man. Give me that. Cliff Kingsbury playing against his own team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cliff Kingsbury, his old squad.
Good point.
Give me the card. Give me the
Kenny G wants the
Arizona
the, Commies.
He wants the Commanders.
Oh, he wants football
the
team?
Commies. Yep.
I won't call them the Commanders.
Good. Go ahead, Pete.
All right. Well, I said that the 1 o'clock game I would definitely be watching is Steelers-Colts. The 4 o'clock game I'm definitely going to be watching is Commanders-Cardinals. My lock of the week, taking the Commanders because Jaden Daniels is going to take a step forward and prove to Ryan and Tom that an East Coast team can win on the West Coast. He's going to have the team ready to go. Also, my lock of the week is the over, gentlemen. I love the Commanders and the over in this game.
How many locks you got?
That was my only lock.
Right, you're done. That's his lock. You're all done. You want to change?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I like it.
All right.
Last one, man.
Sunday Night Football. It's a good one. We think. It's the Bills at the Ravens. Ravens scuffling. Bills undefeated. Ravens are favored at home by 2.5. I'm going last this time.
It's difficult. It's a difficult one. By again, up down. I'm going to go with Baltimore.
Kenny wants Baltimore as well.
This is a tough week. It's a tough week.
It is.
Tough week. Tough.
KG
tough,
wants
tough,
Ravens.
Tough.
Kenny wants Ravens.
Yep.
Go ahead, Brad.
Tough.
Man, this is a tough week picking.
Tough.
Give me the Bills. I'm gonna stick with the Bills. Like I haven't seen enough out of Ravens to completely believe in what I saw. Look, Derrick Henry looked good on the ground. They gave him the ball, but
I believe
that Buffalo defense. You talk about defenses. We talking about the Minnesota Vikings defense, Buffalo defense too. Give me Buffalo. I think this is a statement game for the Bills.
Go ahead, Pete.
Maz, give me the Buffalo Bills. I agree with everything Braylon just said. You got to stick with the hot team.
Tailing Bray.
No, this guy's smart. I think Bray knows what he's talking about. I agree with it.
Actually, you're different on one. Oh no, never mind. Go
anyway,
ahead.
I do like Khalil Shakir. I've been talking about him all season long, and so I think that the Bills and Josh Allen will have a day of reckoning for Baltimore. Go ahead, Tommy.
I got the Ravens this time. Ravens to make a statement this time.
Are they still your Super Bowl team?
I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea anymore. I don't know the AFC like I thought I did.
Yeah.
I think honestly they're going to put the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
This is a
because
tough
that's
year.
what they want.
This is a tough year.
They want the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. And we're going to talk about. Did you guys talk about the Dallas game yet?
Not really.
We got to talk a little bit about
next.
that game.
Let's do
but
that.
Yeah, talk about two teams that they want to win. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, and they really do favor the Cowboys. I mean, they do. They do. Give me the Ravens to win.
All right, there you go, guys. We have our picks, and that's what we're staying. We'll talk about that Thursday night football game last night. Man, Cowboys and Giants. Very questionable calls in that one. It seems like every big game we talk about is a very questionable calls. Excuse me.
The refs really have not had a good year.
We'll talk about that next. But first, a message from Woodward in Maine. Hey, Detroit Game Day, wake up with us. Woodward in Maine, your source for insider information. Terry Foster, Matt Broder, get ready. 8 a.m. Woodward in Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Then don't forget about the pregame show, New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show, live from Second Best Bar in Detroit. Latest injury reports, fantasy starts and sits. Join us every home game, every Sunday at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to the Lions game day. #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
And you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use code word Woodward, and get 25% 10% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We're coming right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey guys, have you ever thought about volunteering but you didn't know where to start? Well, start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option for a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site. That means outside of a storefront. Everybody's done that. Or you can do a virtual bell ringing right from home. Virtual bell ringing, you can start off at any time. Traditional bell ringing starts on Friday, November the 7th. Runs through Christmas Eve, not on Thanksgiving and Sundays, though. Give it a shot, guys. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com. It's the Red Kettle campaign from Salvation Army.
That's great stuff.
Like to play golf with a legend like Darren McCarty, Kirk Gibson, Calvin Johnson, or the great Braylon Edwards. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today and you can play like a VIP. Go to woodwardsports.com or scan that QR code above my head on the screen. And when it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. It is Randy Wise. And also, you want to look good if you're going to buy a new car, you might as well head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and load up on the latest Detroit sports merch, which is guaranteed to turn heads. You got all your Tigers gear. You got all your Lions gear. Don't forget about the Red Wings. They're getting ready to start up. The Pistons are coming as well. Do they have the exhibition tonight? I think they do. And then, head to shop.woodwardsports.com and clean us out of all this great merchandise we got. It's all there for you.
I was going to say, I love playing golf. So if you guys want to register for that, myself, Darren McCarty would love to come out and have a good time, man. Golf is a fun round. It's always interesting playing with golf course with different people because it's a long round. It's 5 hours, sometimes 4.5 hours or so. And you don't know these people. So, you're trying to find the space. And a lot of times, Ryan, they spend the first 5 hoes asking all Michigan stuff, Michigan question. Then I reversed on. I asked them questions the rest of the round. I don't let them ask any more questions. I'm like, yeah, so tell me about what you did.
That's
What's
awesome.
going on? How'd you meet your wife? And then you bring them in. So it's really fun, like engaging with people in these golf rounds. Man.
That's great stuff. Good job, Bray. Hey, Tom Azaway, Braylon Edwards. I want to talk for a couple of minutes before we get Dr. Pearson here. Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. Cowboys beat the Giants 20-15. How does Vegas even do it? I mean, it lands on 5.
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
I guess they looked at the Giants and figured they're going to kick 5 field goals.
Well, the kicker for the Cowboys misses one for the
51-yard.
first time ever at the end of the game.
That was Mike McCarthy's fault. He rushed him onto the field. And instead of calling a timeout, he had a timeout to use. Could have taken his time, run him out there, taken his time. Because Aubrey didn't hit from 60.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is money in the bank. I guess you can't hit them all, right? You can't hit them all. But that's 2 poorly coached games by those guys. Brian Daboll's over his head. Mike McCarthy, well, he's Mike McCarthy.
Some guys are just coordinators.
They are. Brian Daboll, I mean, you go on 4th down 2 or 3 times, and then you're down inside the 5 and you don't go. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't. Daniel Jones was okay. Malik Neighbors is a stud, absolute stud. Knocked himself out at the end of the game, trying to make a catch on the sidelines, hit his head right on the turf. Also, bad injury on the Cowboys for number 11, Micah Parsons. High ankle sprain, they say, but he went out on a cart. Ugly game, ugly refs.
2 franchises that are just in disarray, regardless of what you want to say about them, regardless of how many games the Cowboys win each year, whether it's 12 or 13. They're just 2 franchises that are in disarray. You look at the Giants, just look at what you saw in the Giants on Hard Knocks. Just start there with that franchise.
Yeah, they don't have it.
Start and end there.
Start and end. Like, you see that Joe Shine, like, he's not it. Daniel Jones hates the franchise, and he's the starting quarterback. Like, there's no cohesion between the players. There's no cohesion between, at least, management to players. Like, they're just all in disarray. And then you look at the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, yet again, he's still Jerry Jones. He's got a podcast. He's running his mouth. He's creating a little bit of dissension between his players. Players not liking players. Micah Parsons and his own defense has been getting into it since the offseason. Dak Prescott, and who likes Dak? Like, nobody on the team likes Dak. They had to go back and get Ezekiel Elliott, who had 19 yards carrying last night as a starting running back. They had to go get him so Dak Prescott would have a friend on the offense.
Is that really?
The offensive line is falling apart. Zach Martin is, I'm not going to say a shell because he's one of the best interior linemen in the last 25 years, but he's not the same player he was. The offensive line was where they made their bones. You're just looking at 2 franchises that are just in complete and utter disarray. And I understand the Cowboys won, but let's not give them credit for beating that Giants team who stinks.
The Cowboys don't scare me at all in the NFC, and the Giants are going to have a new general manager and a new head coach at the end of the year. That's basically what this one comes down to. I just have to say one thing about the officiating. There was a huge call in the beginning of the game. The Giants are driving. They call a face mask penalty on the Giants. Moving back 15 yards. It was actually the Cowboys player that committed the face mask infraction. I've never seen anything like it. The Cowboys player had the face mask. They call face mask on the Giants. No. And they call face mask on the Giants, and they move the ball back. They have to settle for a field goal. Also,
I would have walked off the field, by the way.
A touchdown pass. Dak Prescott throws a touchdown pass in the first quarter. Ref throws a flag. Coming back. Refs huddle together.
Nope.
No flag. Pick up the flag. Those 2 calls right there in the first quarter.
That's the game.
Determined the game.
Mm-hmm.
It determined the outcome of the game. And I just don't even understand. It's like you're not even trying to hide it anymore. You're not even trying to hide. You do for the Chiefs. You do for the Cowboys. And to hell with the rest of you. That's basically what the NFL said.
I still have nightmares about 2014's playoff game. I'll never forget that game. I've never seen anything like what they did to the Lions in that game. And with Des Bryant to run on the field after all of that and not get flagged, I'm just flabbergasted. And I'm not surprised anymore. It sucks, though.
You know, it doesn't suck. Oh, sorry. Last comment. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you're talking about the number 1 franchise in the NFL as it relates to merchandising sold, as it relates to storyline, as it relates to fan base, the money that they make off the Cowboys, and then how much Jerry Jones is in bed, intertwined with the NFL on everything. He's the point person, or at least he was. Maybe Robert Kraft and he share that role now, but it is what it is. This is a long relationship. They've been doing this for the Cowboys ever since they won their first Super Bowl.
All right, guys, we're going to bring Dr. Pearson here next. We'll get some Lions injury news and notes in. I know, dude, I got a shoulder thing, too. I got to ask Dr. Pearson about my shoulder, too.
Yeah, we getting old,
yeah,
man.
I know it. Oh, my gosh.
Should let him work on you.
All that and more, but first message from Bray.
Oh, right. See, I was so excited talking about these Detroit Lions and the Cowboys that I forgot about the post-game show. That's right, live at Hayes Social. Look, this is Stick and Anson. We have Anson on the show on Wednesday. These are the guys that you want to talk about the Detroit Lions with. And look, we want you to be a part of the post-game show. Call in, jump in the chat. It's live, immediate reaction, and it's sponsored by Sabbath Coffee and Taller and Sirogi's. Look, this is the place to be if you pull up. If not, just jump in the chat like you're doing now. I'm telling you, Stick and Anson, they go at it. Especially after a Monday night win, get on there about 11:30. It's going to be fun till about 2 in the morning. I'm telling you, post-game show, this is where it's at.
And right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or head to SwissINS.com, and we're heading to break. We're coming right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out PremierPetSupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
If you want to know where the best Lions pregame party is going to be on Monday, September 30th, you can join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show. And this Monday, it's going to be with the heavyweights. Only at the Second Best Bar in Detroit. Come get some.
And if you're dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham have your back. 10 plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on your screen or call 248-971-0476, 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you. KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Got it.
Hey,
Spencer Torkelson.
That's right. It's time now to bring in our guy, Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine, WSN Injury Insider. Dr. Pierce, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm a little worn out. I've been in school. Did my last day of high school today.
Take the parents to work day today, or take the parents to school day?
Yeah, basically. It's sad. It's my last one.
Last kid?
My last kid.
Going through the halls of Cranbrook?
Yep.
My goodness.
Did he tell you saw me?
He did tell me.
He tell you saw me?
He said you were going to give me some of the business on the next show.
I got you, man. I'm going to give you the business about not letting you play football. Come on, man. Let my guy play football.
Come on.
Yeah, see? Yeah, this is an attack.
I mean,
we set it up. Let my guy play football. Your son is a natural athlete. The way that I saw him draw off the ball at your outing, and then I came up to him, he let that boy play football a little bit.
Well, his day's over. You don't. He probably didn't he was out for concussions all last summer.
Yeah, he didn't tell me that. You did.
He was out for I didn't let him play football. I let him play lacrosse, and I don't know if I made the right decision.
Right.
Which is just
the helmets are weaker.
The helmets are weaker, and the sticks are bigger.
Right.
But I will say this though, Dr. Pierce, man, you raised an amazing kid. Like he came up to me, he's so respectful. Yeah, he's a good one. He's a real good one, man. I like him a lot.
He's like, I want him to come today. He's like, Dad, I just can't do it. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm like, just talk.
That's what it's all
him and his
about.
buddies want to come.
They can come any day. Doesn't even have to be on a day that you're here. Just let us know anytime you want to come.
Agreed.
Hey, Doc, before we get, I got to talk to you about real people. Forget about these athletes out here. I got real people out here on the chat. I'm a shoulder sleeper. I sleep like that on my shoulder.
Same.
My shoulder hurts so bad, I feel like I got nothing left there. All I do is I sleep like this, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I could barely move my shoulder down. What's going on there?
It's probably going to have to be amputated.
Well,
eventually.
I hope not. Well, if it could be this, just as long as it's not this one.
That's right. That's for multiple uses.
He missed you. Yeah, same.
No,
is that pretty common?
No, it's common as you're young, but as you age, you start creating something called impingement. So what you're doing is all the vascular system and the nervous system runs through your armpit. So when you're holding it up like that, you're creating an imbalance. So you're tilting your head to that side because you're not keeping in that neutral position. So you're torquing and pinching the nerves. Then you're compressing the nerves and the vessels that are through your armpit. There's a thoracic outlet.
How do I fix it?
You fix it. We put an airplane pillow on you and duct tape you into a position.
Oh.
No, but honestly, you're going to switch because your body's just going to naturally be uncomfortable. Like, do you ever wake up and you're just shaking your hand out and you got to get it moving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's your
early
signs. Give it another couple of years of that. You'll be doing it naturally to change, or you got to change automatically.
Bray, you got something similar?
A little bit. He knows a little bit about it. I had like a small tear in my rotator cuff. Stayed out of the gym for 2 months. Finally got the MRI, saw what it was. And once it came back that it was just that, got the shot down there at Henry Ford. And
you got a steroid shot.
Steroidal shot.
Not the secret cocktail stuff.
I didn't get the secret cocktail sauce, so that's why I'm talking to Doc. Because secret cocktail sauce wears off. Like, wears off faster. Or,
no.
Okay. So that's why I'm talking to you. I legitimately have been good. I've been lightweights at the gym, been swimming. But I think a lot of golf still, and I think I thought maybe fatigue, but it was a slight tear, so maybe I'm moving it more. You tell me.
Well, I mean, first of all, you are an ex-professional athlete, so there's a lot extra mileage on you. And now you're trying to Huh?
Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? I'm still young.
It's still
No, I'm
young.
joking. Yeah.
But I mean, we need to tease it out. I mean, you're talking about possible impingement. A lot of times when you have a partial tear, everything else grows big around it, and you still have that little deficit there. Like, it's really cool. Like in the back, like guys that have back surgery, we'll see the repair, and then we'll see actual atrophy of the muscle around it. It's because you didn't get the firing patterns back correctly. Like there's a firing pattern. There's a natural way of like walking, like a gait. Certain muscles have to click in to have a normal gait. For you, you can overpower it, and you probably left the injured area weaker. So we have to actually turn it back on. It could be as simple as that. But a lot of times we'll do a musculoskeletal ultrasound. We'll look at the dynamic movement of the shoulder.
When am I coming to see you?
You know, the door is always open.
Door is always open.
Door is always open, not just for Braylon, but for Ryan, you know, everybody here at Woodward Sports. We got to keep this group healthy.
I'm dead serious. You let me be setting this up because we've been talking.
But what I point out is like firing patterns. When you start not pushing Michigan Sports and Spy, but I'm pushing guys, doctors, physicians, therapists that work at a different level, and they're not talking my back, but there's a difference. There's a difference. I know Medicare doesn't see it differently, and then I'm getting on my horse for a second.
Please.
They pay us all the same for that same shoulder visit, right? Medicare sees everybody the same, which is a bunch of BS. My expertise and guys that work at where we peel back that onion a little bit more, like some people are like, well, you just need to do A, B, and C. No, you need to be evaluated to see what the healing was around it, where the muscle deficit is, where the atrophy is, how that ligament's healthy or not healthy. It's not just go lift a little bit more or use that rubber band stuff. You need to get to therapists. And that's what the difference is between working for a professional and then just being a line worker going to some random family practice doctor. There's a huge difference. And, you know, I've prided Michigan Sports and Spine, the people around me that we've done that to the next level. We've always treated people for the next level. And it's sad that insurance dictates where you can't always get that. And people aren't knowledgeable that way. That's probably the biggest reason I enjoy doing things like this, is to educate the non-Braylons, the non-beneficial Ryans and things like that. But it's the people out there that are on the chat that want to listen, that don't know any better. Like, I just got a crazy story. Can I keep going?
Please. Here? Yeah, absolutely. I got about 10 minutes left. We'll get to the – no, I'm just saying. I got about 10 minutes left. We'll get to the Lions in a minute, but I want to hear it. This is
But
important.
You guys have accused me, don't push Michigan Sports and Spine, but this is a great example of what the difference is, right? We're not some random thing on the corner, an urgent care on the corner, a Henry Ford doctor, a Beaumont doctor. There's doctors, but you need to peel back. What's his education? What is he doing? Is he seeing 40 people a day where he's just like running through the mill, or is he really peeling back what's going on? Unfortunately, medicine today is pushing for getting the volume in because of what they've done. And when I just got questioned on what type of MRI, I can't order an MRI. I'm considered a center of excellence for almost every insurance company. But now, since they want third parties cutting down costs, we now have to do certain things. It's like you've wasted 3 months of this person's life because of your silly ass approval system. So it's getting down to the dollars and cents. You don't have to do that because you have inroads. But the common person, the person sitting out there, the person that's a weekend warrior that doesn't want to give up in his 40s and he's injuring himself at work and wanting to still play, he's the one suffering. Those are the people that are, I want to benefit. Sports and Spine isn't much, we're not just about the elite athletes. We do treat the masses, and we welcome them. We want to see them. This isn't a bit for Michigan Sports and Spine, but it's go for a person that you feel is competent. Look it up, research the guy, make sure he's treated certain types of athletes and things like that. So
can I ask you a question real quick, because you're intriguing me? What should people look for in a doctor? How do people, the regular people, somebody just watching this right now, how do they understand if this is the right doctor for them or not? If this is the right door to walk in or not? What questions should they ask?
You're pushing social media so much right now. They're like, I didn't have a presence on social media, but it's like that's been like when I did for hockey, and I guess the best referral is for myself. When I wrote for Hockey Weekly, it gave me credibility, but it gave me credibility to get that person to the door, but my results and how I treated their child or the individual is what kept the referrals coming. It wasn't because I just wrote or I treated a Darren McCarty or, I was the Red Wing doctor. But you also have to be someone to get to that level to get that trust. So to answer your question simply, one is their education. Two is what type of fellowship they have. What do they spend time on, right? I always use the example plumber or electrician. You're not going to have an electrical problem and go hire a plumber. You've got to make sure you're going to the right person. You talk about general orthopedics. Well, it's not general orthopedics anymore. Everybody specializes. Is there a reason to go to the guy who's done the most knees in town? Yeah, he probably leads the team in less issues, but he's also done the biggest volume. So it's guys with education. Fellowship trained is huge. Who they're treating, what they're treating, how to interview your doctor. What do you feel about certain things? Like I just had a very prominent person at Cranbrook ask me about an issue with their son that's been nagging for over a year. And he just hasn't gotten to the right person with the right attitude. We talk about biologics, we talk about cutting edge stuff. I guess there isn't a simple answer because you have to trust. And a lot of times people go to their primary care doctor and ask. To me, ask the chat, tell me what your problem is, and I'll guide you the right way. That's always been the philosophy of Michigan Sports and Spine is that come to me, I will evaluate you. I stay in my lane. If I know something's not what we do, I'll get you to that right person. And for me to make a phone call, and get you in, it's 1 to 2 weeks versus 2 to 3 months sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if I answered your question appropriately, but it's kind of like who you know. But again, we do this show to broaden that who you know attitude. Because if you're friends of Woodward Sports, you're friends of what we do, and we'll treat you with a priority. So that's
awesome.
I
really appreciate that because look, I mean, we all feel very fortunate. You know what I mean? Like Braylon, myself, lots of people we know in the business. You make a call and you get in, but for everybody else out there that is really trying to get the right information and get to the right place and get to the right door. That's hopefully a little bit about what we're providing with this segment here and letting people know, because there's a lot of people listening right now or watching that are still active that that want to be active, that do run into some complications or problems with their bodies, and you want to get them healed.
No, it's just like, not to throw names out there, but I was with Vince Gill, the entertainer Vince Gill. We're on the plane together. He's hobbling off. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? He goes, my knee, I'm not going to do it, and all this stuff. I'm just waiting for it to wear out. I want to stop that attitude. Like we did nursing home work. You don't go to nursing homes to die. You don't wear out your joint until it wears out. I'll get a new one. There's a lot of science right now with biologics and preventative stuff that will maintain your natural anatomy. Mm-hmm. But you need to recognize it early. Like that first little tweak of a knee, you need to not just let it heal, you need to rehab it. You don't underestimate the rehab on it. It's not like just like if you're in your 40s to 60s, it's not like just wait till it wears out and I'll go replace it. That's not the science anymore. And that's what we pride ourselves on. When I talk about biologics or secret sauces, stuff like that, it's kind of what I'm referring to.
Right. Doc, let me ask you a couple of Alliance questions here. I got just a couple of minutes remaining, but Frank Ragnow, big concern with him. He's got a pectoral issue, torn pec, I believe. Look, we hear torn pec, we think C.J. Gardner-Johnson out essentially all season long. Who just had a torn pec also?
This is our third one.
So the third one, I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but sounds like he's gonna not be season ending. How is that not season ending?
Well, first of all, we talked about this before on Darren's show on Big D. It's the amount of what's torn, the amount of muscle. Ragnow he's a beast, right? So I think the first thing I said with that show is that you can't trust him. Right? This guy's going to do whatever he can do to stay on the field. So is he playing it down? Can he do what he's doing? Now that we've identified what the problem is, I mean, he came off the field. I don't think he's playing this week, but they didn't put him on the IR list. So we know he's not going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks either. I think this is something that we see how he does. We need a week or two to see what happens. But he's got to be able to, to resist, to push that defensive guy back and defend and grapple and all that stuff without holding. So he's going to compensate. He's going to let us know. So it's probably not as bad a tear, because if it was a bad tear, he'd be on IR right away. So I think it's that minor tear, probably not close to the bone, because we always worried about where the tear is, how big of a tear it is, and what's the compensating factors. You can't wrap it like a knee or an ankle. You got to be able to have that power come out of his upper body and his strength and resistance. So I think he's not playing this week for sure. I think next week he's going to let us know how he's feeling. So hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks he should be back.
Stuff, Doc. Good stuff, man. This was actually one of the most fascinating conversations I think we've had in a long time.
The one story about it's a 20-year-old kid who's a long distance runner. He cannot lift his shoulder, above his head, his shoulders or his elbow. And it's like, he's gone to 3 different doctors. I'm like, this can't be rocket science. There's got to be something there. And they ended up, and I don't want to diss on anybody, but they didn't go to the right type of doctor. Like, I was almost amazed or appalled, whatever word I want to use, that it was a perfect example of why we're sitting here. Is because you went to the wrong person, you've gotten the wrong diagnosis. This kid's a D1 distance runner, and he's got inefficiencies in his upper body. He can't extend his elbow, he can't extend his arms. So it's, he'll come in, we'll do some ultrasound, we'll find out exactly what's wrong, and at least create a plan and have more knowledge. A lot of people are like, I don't know what's wrong. Oh, like, what did the doctor say? Well, he really didn't say anything. Those are the doctors you kind of shy away from.
Hey, if you're dealing with something, check out Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine, and maybe at the very least, you can help get people to the right situation.
Yeah,
We certainly appreciate you, Doc. Our WSN Injury Insider, a couple of guys up here on the desk might be on the down low. the disabled list pretty soon with the shoulders. Doc, thanks so much, my man.
All right, guys.
Bray, get us out of here, buddy. It's Friday.
Look, man, it's Friday. It's been a great week. We appreciate you for tuning in to Woodward Sports Network with Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz. We appreciate all our guests today, including Dan Miller, Fox Sports Detroit, as well as Detroit Lions radio personality, and our own Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Injury Insider. Look, man, Detroit Tigers, support them. This is going to be fun. Enjoy this ride. I promise you, rides like this, they never happen. Not once in the blue moon, no. They never happen, and your team is in the midst of an amazing journey. So enjoy this week. They'll beat the White Sox. Then the Lions on Monday will beat the Seattle Seahawks. So it's going to be another great weekend for you guys. From my man Ryan Ermanni over there. Silent Mike in the booth, who I didn't say hello to. My guy, how you doing? Good to see you, Pete. Hell of a week out of you. I see you with the parlays, my guy.
Got it, baby.
Well, you know what? I'm just trying to get everybody out there. Maz, we'll see you guys later. We're out.